في الجهة اليمين وصلت للطرف الأيمن عرضية داخل منطقة الجزاء رونالدو. الله، بل يكون هنا.
Sometimes a hero is not made by applause, nor by resources, nor by a wealthy family. Sometimes a hero is born in silence, in poverty, in darkness, and with a heart that isn't even sure it beats the right way. This is the story of someone who started from nothing and reached a place where everyone watched. This is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Madeira, a beautiful island, but ruthless for the poor. A small house, a leaking roof, a nearly empty fridge, a tired father, a worried mother, and a little boy who didn't even know what the future meant. His old photo still exists, a skinny child holding a broom in a narrow alley. No ball, no proper shoes, no training field. But he had one thing, a stubbornness that no one could take from him. When the neighborhood kids played, he would chase after the ball for hours. So much so that his mother would say, "This boy is not like the others. He seems to have electricity in him." Entering football. The first serious step. He played for small neighborhood teams, but it didn't take long for people to realize this boy was no ordinary kid. He was 12 years old when he left home for good, heading to Lisbon, joining Sporting, the first journey of his life, with a small suitcase, a lot of fear, and tears that only his dorm pillow saw. The other kids felt homesick. He was homesick, but he kept running, training, until the coaches said, "This boy doesn't just play, he attacks the game." The first explosion, a historic match against Manchester year, 2003, a friendly match, Sporting versus Manchester United. Wayne Rooney said, "We didn't know what it was. We just saw a skinny boy running all over the pitch." Manchester's defenders were dizzy. When the match ended, the Manchester players said, "This kid has to come to us." Ferguson, a man who creates legends, immediately wanted him, and Cristiano, from a dorm room, entered the biggest club in England, Manchester, where boys become men. Manchester was a place where you either became strong or got crushed. The players laughed at him, at his hairstyle, at his techniques, at his pride, but he answered them on the training ground. Every day he arrived earlier, stayed later, built his body, built his strength, built his speed, built his technique. Ferguson said, "This boy has an obsession found only in champions." Year 2008, something happened that changed the future of football. Cristiano's first Ballon d'Or, that famous header against Chelsea, the flight, and it was as if he wasn't even human. The big transfer, Real Madrid, a record transfer, £80 million. The world was in shock. Real Madrid gave him the number 7, a number worn by legends. And Cristiano? He didn't just wear that number, he made it heavier. In Madrid, he became a goal-scoring machine, a record breaker, a beast, a living legend, 4 Ballon d'Ors, 2 consecutive Champions League titles, and a goal that shook the world, a 2.65-meter leap against Sampdoria, a goal that defied physics, or that 60-meter strike against Porto, or his deadly free kicks. At Real, he transformed from a great player into a legacy. Juventus, a new experiment. At 33 years old, everyone said, "It's over." The end of an very turn to Manchester, a home that was no longer the same. Years later, he returned to Manchester. But he was no longer that skinny boy. He was a champion, with dozens of trophies and records. In that very season, he scored crucial goals. But the club was in chaos. He fought. Yet sometimes even the strongest cannot save a disorganized army. The beginning of a new era. Al Nassr, Saudi Arabia. When he joined Al Nassr, some laughed. Some said it was over. Some said it was the end. But the truth? It was the start of a revolution. Ronaldo made. Stars come to Saudi Arabia one by one. The league gained global attention. the level of football in Asia rise, and a worldwide wave begin, and himself, as always. He scored, he broke records, he made the world watch again. Titles, records, history to this day. He owns 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 UEFA Champions League titles, the most goals in football history, the most international goals of all time, the most Champions League goals, the most international hat-tricks in history, over 850 official goals. He didn't just break records, he set records that may never be broken. And then, the White House. Years later, a scene unfolded that no one could have even imagined. Cristiano Ronaldo in the White House, alongside world leaders, next to the President of the United States, beside the King of Saudi Arabia, in the spotlight of cameras in a place where not just anyone is allowed entry. A boy who once swept the streets of Madeira was now walking through one of the most important political buildings in the world. This was not just success. This was not just victory. This was revenge against poverty, revenge against the past, revenge against everyone who said, it's impossible. The final message, if you ask me, how did this boy go from a broom to the White House? I would say he wasn't just talent. He didn't just have a strong body. He didn't just have luck. He had pain. He had poverty. He had fear. He had heartbreak. But he never stopped. When everyone was asleep, he was training. When everyone was tired, he kept going. When the world was against him, he said, okay, let's see who gets tired first, me or the world? And the world got tired. He didn't. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps the channel grow. And of course, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. Feel free to stick around and check out the other videos on the channel. I think you'll enjoy them too. See you in the next one.